Chelsea Football Club this year have decided to act like a serious institution. They're getting their business done early. Toussaint Adebayo has already joined, and it looks like Michael Olise is going to have a meeting with club representatives in the next few days to sort his deal out to Chelsea, but Manchester United are going to try stay in the way and be an obstacle. Benjamin Sesko, he's got 5 offers on the table, reputable sources coming out with this. We've got all 5 of the clubs, as well as one of the entities that is interested in him. Some of the fees that are being offered to this man, it's crazy. No wonder his agent's been running around all over the gap. And finally, Conor Gallagher, it looks like he's got 3 clubs, 2 in England, 1 in Spain, España, coming in for him. And the fee that we are asking for is ludicrous, but if we get this, win Stanley, my friend, after 65 million for Mason Mount, 70 million for Kai Havertz, 55 million for Conor Gallagher will be phenomenal business. So before we get started, I need you lot to do me a massive favor. I produce the content, I keep you entertained, I do it with energy, and I make you laugh. Otherwise you wouldn't come back, because the reality is, I try to do my very best. Hit that like button right now, because you will forget, and I'm aiming for 1,000 likes on this video. Number 2, like I said, I gave you every reason why you should subscribe. Consistency, charm, and more importantly, direct, no BS, proper content out every single day. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with Michael Olise, because this is the move that I believe is the biggest one. I think Michael Olise is the type of player that changes the direction a club is going in. I think that's how good he is. You could put Michael Olise in an ineffective club. All of a sudden, he's producing numbers, he's producing performances, and he's that kind of player that elevates people in and around him with his creativity and his production. So, why am I excited about this? Manchester United fans and Mark Goldbridge have got it into their head that for some reason, he's going to pick them over us. We've got his brother in our academy. We are in London, so he doesn't even need to move house. And more importantly, I actually think our project is a lot better than theirs. We are a travesty. We had a horrible start to the season last year, and we still finished above them. We still finished decently above them as well. We won 11 of our last 19 games, and it put us in a situation where if we just repeated it again, we would have finished in the top 4 comfortably. There wouldn't have even been a debate. So the reality is, people need to calm down. But how do we know that Chelsea are going after it? Number 1, the secret scout definitely has contacts within Chelsea. The secret scout knew about the Enzo Fernandez deal well in advance. He was telling us all the detail by detail about the Caicedo deal. And now, once again, he has come out and told us Chelsea want 2 right wingers, 2 left wingers. They are going for Mudryk and Sterling on the left, Noni and Olise on the right. And Cole Palmer will be the number 10, and Nkunku and Jackson, Sesko, if we get him, will be up top. For me, that's too many choices. However, we have got a lot of games next year. There could be a possible of 73 games next year for Chelsea Football Club if they win every single tournament that they're in. FA Cup, Carling Cup, Club World Cup, Conference League, and Premier League. That is 5 tournaments we're going to be in. That's a potential of 73 games. So we need a squad, we need to rotate, and the reality is those players are all going to have a vital role to play. Then we've got the Academy scoop coming out with Chelsea have got a meeting with Michael Olise coming up in the next few days, where Chelsea are trying to wrap this deal up quickly. They aren't wasting time. They want to do this as soon as possible before the Euros. They want to secure this man's future at Chelsea Football Club. Olise as well, David Ornstein's come out. They said, look, Olise is looking for a step up, maybe a Champions League club, maybe a Europa League club, but more importantly, he just wants an exciting project. What do we keep referring to Chelsea as? An exciting project. And you know what? This is a project that I don't blame him to want to be a part of, because it is starting to heat up. A lot of people are telling me, Alex, you're being too positive. I see reasons to be positive. If our players stayed fit last year, we would have made top 4, I'm telling you, and Poch would have stayed. So now that Poch is gone, and we've got a manager that, in my opinion, is tactically better and suits our squad better, there's no excuses for us not to be top 4 next year, and not to go and win the Conference League, and not to make a good push in the Club World Cup. Because I want to win the Club World Cup. So Michael Olise has already been linked to Chelsea. Now it's about Benjamin Sesko. So Benjamin Sesko is a player that has had his agent basically go on a tour and get courted. Because the reality is, this man's been getting freebie after freebie. He's sitting at the Emirates, sitting at OT, sitting at SB, left, right and centre. Stamford Bridge one week, Manchester the next week. Emirates, Old Trafford. Emirates, Old Trafford, Stamford Bridge. Literally, he's been rotating around this like we're side chicks to him. It is absolutely hilarious how he puts up a picture every single time as well. Like, he's not even hiding that he's talking to everyone. He's trying to inflate the fee for his client. He's trying to get the best agent fee, best money for his client, and you do your job big. Because you know what? Evidently, you know what you're doing, because there are 5 offers on the table for Benjamin Sesko as we speak right now, according to Fabrizio Romano. Number 1, re-sign with Leipzig. Leipzig who are willing to give him a lucrative offer, and more importantly, increase that release clause in his contract. Number 2, £30 million a year is being offered by a Saudi Arabian club. They are offering him that money, and they will take him to Saudi and redevelop the league purely based on the fact that they're going to be getting more young players to develop their own league. It's a project, and you know what? Good on them. If they got the money, spend it. Then there's Chelsea, Arsenal, and United. We don't know what we're offering in money. We don't know what we're offering in little increments. But all we know that Ornstein and Fabrizio have both said the deals are on the table. It's up to the player now to decide, and the player would like to decide before the Euros start, because they will not want the whole fiasco. Oh my god, the Euros are on. Can he leave the camp? Can he do this? Can he do that? I want this resolved. Do I like Benjamin Sesko? I think Benjamin Sesko is a good player. I think Benjamin Sesko's got good striking of a ball, and I swear I miss having a player in our team that could just slap it from far away. You know, like a number 9, how Didier Drogba used to be, like Nico Anelka used to be. Just give the ball, no backlift, boom, absolute slap it. Sometimes I just wish Jackson knew how to do that. We would actually have the perfect striker if Jackson knew how to do it. I also think Sesko is the type of signing that the club have been so keen on that I think he's going to slap. Because when Chelsea are so keen on players to the point where it's so public, 9 out of 10 times, the hype around them is real. And Arsenal want them, Man United want him. It's just a player that makes sense. We've been chasing him for 2-3 years. Now they're just trying to pull the trigger. Very interesting how we didn't get him last year, considering the fact that we were actively going after youngsters. So the fact that he went from Salzburg to Leipzig, now he's joining us for a potential 55 million. It is not a crazy fee, but I'm not going to lie to you, he could be the solution to our problem. The final one is one that upsets a lot of people, because a lot of people have come to their conclusion that Conor Gallagher is a guaranteed starter at Chelsea Football Club, and Conor Gallagher cannot leave. He's the heart and soul of the team, geezer. He has to stay. He has to stay. Con's one of our own. We gave him a banner. Well, you shouldn't have given him a banner, because the reality is, at this moment in time, it looks like Conor Gallagher will be leaving the club. A lot of people are going to say this is them stripping out the pure profit out the club once again. I think they've been trying to sell him since January 2023, because they had a bid accepted of 40 million with Everton. The bid was Conor refused to go. They had multiple bids come in, and then they decided to keep him because nothing met their valuation. Conor Gallagher went on to have one of the best seasons he could have at Chelsea Football Club. He played literally a lot. He scored a lot of goals, got a lot of assists. However, we saw his deficiencies. And what's happened since? Well, Sammy Mockbell's come out and said that initial talks with Spurs are going to happen. Spurs are super interested. A bid is imminent. They are going to want him. Ainge Postecoglou is really keen on this player. Then he also mentioned that Atletico Madrid are sniffing around. If I am Conor Gallagher, I am going to Atletico. Forget Spurs. Forget what's it called, Aston Villa. Go to Atletico. Can you imagine him in the Simeone team? Simeone would love him. The fact that he'll be playing Champions League football, the fact that he'd be in contention to win trophies, the fact that he'd be coached under Diego Simeone. He could literally have a second career away from England, have a great career in Spain, and then come back. He could always come back home. Opportunities like this don't happen. And if I'm Conor's friend, or if I'm Conor's family member, I'm whispering in his ear, big man, go. You do not need to stay in England. Aston Villa and Spurs are not Atletico Madrid. If you're leaving Chelsea, go and join a club of that magnitude, because you will play under Cholo. Cholo will give you the platform because you suit exactly what his system needs. High energy, high octane, physical players. Players that want to play on the counter-attack. Players that will stay in a structure and then press like machines. Can you imagine him in that midfield? He suits it. And Sammy Mockbell saying they are interested. And there were other sources that have said he's interested. Then this is where it gets very interesting. Chelsea have already held talks with Aston Villa. Unai Emery is keen for this guy. Unai Emery wants this player, and it's one of his favourite targets for the midfield role. They're trying to get Douglas Luiz out, and they're trying to bring him in. This, for me, is beautiful for Chelsea. The bidding war that's going to start, and Chelsea want £55 million or higher for the player, and this is lovely to hear. This is coming from Sky Cover. The fact that Chelsea believe if Mason Mount costs 55 plus 5 or 60 plus 5, whatever we got for him, so is Conor Gallagher, because Conor Gallagher is a better player, and I totally agree with that, by the way. I think Conor Gallagher is a more complete player than Mason Mount. And for me, at this moment in time, if Conor's going to go, which I think he should, and we're getting such bread for him, honestly, I am super happy for Conor if it's Atletico Madrid or Villa or Spurs. Mate, just go and play football somewhere where you're really wanted. And evidently, all three of those managers want you, and if they want you and they're paying that kind of money, you're going to start. You're not in a situation like you will be at Chelsea where it's like, oh, but is Conor good enough to play in this system? Or and where fans don't like you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there is a segment of fans, not me actually. I actually think if Conor started playing the way I wanted him to play, I'd be like, oh, you know what, Conor should stay. But I just don't think Conor has shown me enough from a technical standpoint that he's good enough. And for me, that's a worry. I think there needs to be a certain threshold for technical ability for players, and he doesn't match it in my opinion. But the reports are coming out that this is going to conclude before the Euros. So, good news. So, I hope this gets done ASAP. But this is the Kavkas View. Unless there's big breaking news, there could be a double upload. So, make sure you hit that bell notification on your way out. And subscribe and like the video right now. Okay? Peace out. I'm out.